Welcome back to the Zeze Millz show. Obviously, I'm Zeze Millz, and opposite me I have...
Swiss.
Yes, I was actually going to say it, but you just...
Oh, sorry, you went like that?
Oh, no.
So, yeah.
I was going to call you a legend.
Oh, is it?
But
sorry.
you messed up that
Wow.
part of me calling you a legend, so...
Thank you.
But it is this Swiss. I know you because I'm old from So Solid days. How do you think the younger generation know you as now?
That's a good question. I think they know me through Cry.
Look what happened to the motherland. They don't want to treat blacks the same as another man. And just cause our skin's different colour and I don't change colour, but they call me a coloured man.
Yeah, because it's a song that kind of transcends generations.
Because even with what's been going on now, I saw on Twitter, maybe like when it all happened with George Floyd and Black Lives Matter movement, everyone was just like, man, Swiss Cry, man, that still touches my soul, man. And I was just like, do you know what? It's a timeless song. Did you know that it was going to be timeless?
I didn't. I just wrote from the heart, which I usually do anyway. I think me and my brethren was talking about Lauryn Hill earlier. Yeah. Someone was playing it, one of your staff. Oh. So that tune actually was inspired by Lauryn Hill. Oh, okay. And it was the Unplugged album. The level of depth that she went to in that album just touched me in a different way. Yeah. And so I feel like that was the kind of foundation that allowed me to go there with Cry. Okay. And I always have to mention Lauryn because it's the truth.
When you said Lauren was like, you got Lauren's number like that. Me and Lauren, we go way back.
Yeah. I mean, we're cut from the same cloth, kind of.
So you're here today to talk about Black Pound Day, which is happening on the 27th of June. Yeah. And explain to me what Black Pound Day is. So
Black Pound Day is a day where we celebrate spending at our own businesses. Okay. Yeah, it's not just a celebration, but it's a way of culturalizing ourselves back into ourselves, turning our money back into ourselves, and for other cultures to do the same too. It came out of the idea and inspiration of like what's happened recently with like the energy with George Floyd, rest in peace, LOYP, and like I just felt like people were directing their frustration towards the system like we usually do when a black person dies, especially in America. We take on the trauma of America, like we do that a lot. Yeah, we do. But like when someone dies in police custody here, you don't see as much people kind of...
That's a very good point.
You know what I'm saying? You know, some people say it's because the media don't cover it the way they do coming from America and whatever. But I just feel like we got to be mindful of that. And so when that happened, I was like, you know what? I'm kind of sick of this cycle. I need to redirect this energy. So I put a post up on my Insta and I just said like, if I was to go take one day out the month just to spend on black business, who would join me? And then I think up to now I got like 600, 700 comments. So from there, I was like, you know what? I'm doing it, man. This is done. Yeah, so redirecting that energy back into our own culture in a productive way. And that's kind of where Black Pound was birthed from.
Do you think we're very reactive as a people?
I think we are, yeah. We kind of come from an emotional place a lot. And that's part of the reason why we're not seeing things as they are, like economically. Most black people do not know how much we spend as a group yearly. According to the Black Pound report, the BAME community spend 300 billion per year. I don't know how much the B in BAME, which is black people, account for within that 300 billion, but it's probably a high percentage because we're one of the most biggest consumers on the planet. The fact that we're not seeing things clearly, to me, says that we act based off of emotion a lot.
100%. I think like, I'm quite surprised at the moment how proactive we're still being. I don't know if that makes sense because I've seen this before when somebody, like you said, in America is, you know, murdered and then everyone does whole Black Lives Matter for like a week or maybe sometimes it doesn't even last a week, it might even last for like 3 days and then everyone kind of goes back to normal. And I'm quite shocked and I feel proud as well that we're still, you know, we're still being really proactive and we're still like on people's necks and we're not kind of not letting it slide. In the beginning, we were very much America, 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 but I can see it slowly shifting to the UK and now we're like focusing on how we can change within our community. Definitely. So wait, it's the Black Pound Day. Explain to me. You can only shop, basically, we can only shop within the black. As
much as you can, because we don't really have the infrastructure within our culture to provide for all of our consumer needs.
Can you go to a black retailer? So can you,
yeah, you can.
And buy Evian? So if Auntie's got a shop, can I go to Auntie and go and get everyone?
Of course, otherwise you won't be able to buy anything.
All right, okay,
you know what I'm saying? Because we don't produce
no
much.
water for like 2 days.
No water for 24 hours, but we don't produce much. Yeah, we don't produce much, so we have to work with what we got. Some people are saying, Swiss, it should be a week, it should be 2 weeks, I'm like, bro, you have to take it slowly.
You couldn't even do Tesco's. Remember we were supposed to boycott Tesco's? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
When Tesco,
I don't actually. When was that?
Tesco's done, I can't, it was something else. It was another thing that we all was just like, we can't shop at Tesco's. And I think it was for a whole month. And I remember everyone was just like, nah, we can't go Tesco's. I actually can't remember what the reason was for, but that was difficult in itself. And Tesco's not the only shop that you can go to. Go Sainsbury's, you can go Lidl, you can go everywhere. And we found that difficult, and that was just one. So basically, for one day, you are encouraging us to shop within our community.
Yeah, to boost the black economy. But it don't have to be just black people. In fact, I'm asking all cultures to go and spend black on that one day.
Oh, okay.
If you're black, spend with black as much as you want.
Right.
Do you understand? I don't want to be the person that dictates what day you should be spending black. Like, do it. Also, people have kind of said to me, like, you know, where do I spend black or whatever? Like, find out, do the research for yourself. Right. I feel like I was just a catalyst. What I need now is I need my social influencers to help me to push this initiative, because I can't do this by myself.
So is it going to be just this one time off, or are you trying to do it every month or something?
Yeah, once a month to start with. It's kind of like an artist, like based on what the audience are doing, then we might go, okay, then cool. Let's do another 2. Let's do the weekend next week. Right, if people are really on it, then we can just, you know, pick it up and do more days. But it's based on how people respond to it. But it's not just about the exchange of money from one hand to another. It's about information. It's about sharing that information, talking to each other, having a group initiative that we can all be part of and feel like we're all like joining with each other.
Because I feel like as black people, we don't really have like a system for us. Do you get what I mean? We're kind of just all over the gaff. And I think also as black people, like we do really well in entertainment and it's really great there. We're doing really good there. But even then, are we? Because half of us don't even own the rights to their music, or it's some white man that's benefiting off of them. A lot of black people don't understand that we are literally at the bottom when it comes to economically, we are at the bottom and we don't have any power in the places that we really need to have the power. So I think it takes people like yourself and also the up and coming like musicians and sportsmen and people in the entertainment world to bring light upon this.
I think we all have a duty to. I think you do as a presenter. I think I do as a rapper.
Yeah.
I think everyone has a duty to upkeep each person's survival within the group that they're in, within the racial group that they're in. You know, and that's the way that we keep ourselves thriving and maintaining.
Do you think it's not too late, but do you think that it's too late?
No, never too late. Why would it be too late?
Not too late, but we continuously like have these conversations. You know, like I've got friends that will continuously talk about this, and like you said, we get really like excited about it, and then we just fall off, and then we get back to where we was before. And like you said in the beginning, me personally, I just get annoyed now. I'm just like, okay, so we're gonna cry. I think sometimes we're really good at playing victim all the time, and like, oh yeah, you know, the system, but the system and all this stuff, and it's just like, okay, but when we want to do stuff for ourselves, we were the first to criticize black businesses. We were the first to be like, oh well, you know, I went there and took 2 hours, but you're gonna go to Gucci and they don't even look at you when you walk in the store. What do you think that is? Is it like self-hate? Is it like crabs in a barrel syndrome, or what is that?
I think it's both. Self-hate, crabs in a barrel. I mean, when you're at the bottom of society for so long, you start to have a pessimistic attitude about everything because nothing's really happening for you.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And then at the bottom, it's each man for themselves. So I think that mentality has been bred in us for a very long time. It's almost become part of our DNA now, where it's just it's a normal reaction for us to hate each other. But also the media, the system has something to do with that as well. I feel like those ideals and ideas, are reinforced through media. We don't really see ourselves in positions of power. Anytime we do see a black person that's in a subordinate position, we're usually doing sports. You don't really see black intellectuals that much, you know, scientists, but they're out there, but you have to look deep and far to find them. So I feel like it starts to make you look at yourself from a negative light. And then you start to turn in on yourself, you know. You start to drink to kind of, as a coping mechanism, drinking, taking drugs, fucking girls loosely, just doing things that aren't really productive for your race. You start to individualize yourself. And that's what kind of where we are at now. I don't want to generalize and say, obviously, every black person's there. But as a unit, as a group, we're just kind of working from an individual basis. But everyone sees us as a group.
Yeah.
People are trying to consumerize us as a group, sell things to us as a group. We're the only ones that probably don't see ourselves or act like we see ourselves as a group. Because if we did, we'll be trying to allow ourselves to thrive in the way that other groups do.
When it comes to Black Pound Day, do you think that we should also expand it when it comes to like music and our entertainment and ownership and all of that stuff?
Okay, yeah, 100%, because that's a topic that came up as a result of what's going on in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
Erykah Badu came out and said, look, if you guys want to do, you know the blackout, the square, the black square, most people were following that and didn't know what the hell they was doing.
It was a bit messy. Like I'd put it up to show like solidarity because I thought, you know what? I just don't want to get fucking ripped online. But it's true. It was like, because I was like, what is this actually for?
I think what's interesting is that came from America. Yeah. And literally, people didn't know what it was for and everyone was supporting it. Like you said, but when Swiss does the Black Pound project, and I'm trying to ask my influencers and my platforms, because this is a good initiative for us to, again, redirect our energy and make something good out of a bad situation.
Right, yeah.
And it's very clear what it does. It basically helps us as a group to leverage ourselves in society by boosting our economy. Like, it's very clear. And it's a very practical thing. Yeah. Silence, like, I'm hardly seeing anyone supporting it.
Do you think it's to do with that people are scared if they say Black Pound Day and buy black, they, especially like influencers, rappers, all these sports, that it can be deemed as anti-white?
I mean, what else are we going to do?
Because
we just had a policeman with his knee on a black man's neck for like 8 something minutes.
Auntie Joshua said, you know, buy black, and then the whole world went in fucking uproar. Was like, oh God, what if a white?
But he didn't just say that. That's the thing. I actually watched it today. He didn't only say that. He said, no matter what group you're part of, you should be supporting your own community.
I don't have a problem with that because I think we should. I've said it before. Like, we should try to buy black. Like, my friend Lynn May, she started up a website, Buy Noir, and I think to myself, if she done Buy Noir now. It probably would have taken off. Yeah. But she done Buy Noir about 2 years ago. I remember and everyone was just like, oh yeah, like, okay. But she's always kind of been on this whole like buy black thing. But again, I think people are scared that it makes you seem like you're racist.
That's true. I think people do feel that way. But that's another legacy of slavery. That's another legacy of mental slavery. Yeah. The fact that you feel that you can't be yourself. Yeah. Do you understand? And we live in a white culture, and our white culture says white supremacy in a lot of places. And white supremacy just means white is above every other race, let's say. Do you understand? They don't have to shout it because it's everywhere. It's taught to our children in school. It's when you walk out your door, majority of policemen are white. They have a black section for black police. We're disproportionately represented in the criminal justice system. We're already at a disadvantage because of our blackness. So why don't we use it to leverage ourselves, to change that around? And for me, that's what Black Pound Day is about in an economical sense. So I'll say be black and be proud. At this stage now, we have to kind of be a little bit unapologetic with it. Not a little bit, we have to be unapologetic with it. We have to be ourselves. And that conversation is one that I'm seeing a lot now. You know, just people challenging things now, having the open conversation about what it means to be black, the oppression we go through. It's been 400 years.
Going back to the music, because I saw that you released the album.
I released the album, yeah, I did.
And then you made a point of not putting it on Spotify, Apple, all those type of things, because you basically said they just, they rob musicians.
It's a rip-off,
So you put it on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp, yeah.
Right. Do you think that that is the way for a lot of artists now?
Yeah, it's either like, if you can have your website and just sell it directly to your fans, then great. You know, or if you could go through Bandcamp, because it's a good platform for artists. The thing I like about Bandcamp is that I can put a bottom line figure on my album, which is $9.99. Yeah. But I've had people pay £20 for it because Bandcamp allows the fan to play as much as they want. They could pay a bag for my album right now. So if anyone wants to buy my album for a bag, go through. It's called Isolation and Music. It's on Bandcamp right now. So that's one of the things I like about Bandcamp. Like, it's an artist platform where you can stream. You can stream on it, or you can buy. You can download it and just buy it. And another thing is, when you download the album, it's yours. It's in your computer. Right. It's in your phone.
Because that's another thing that I saw when all of this has been happening. Everyone's like talking about music and cultural appropriation, and you know, all of a sudden everyone's really angry about, you know, white people taking our music, and you can't talk on our culture because you're not black. I understand why people are upset, but I'm like, we don't hardly own any record labels. Like, there's hardly any black CEOs at any of these record labels. So how can we, is it really our music? Why do we want to be accepted so much in these like white spaces? Even me, like so many times people have said, oh, don't you want to do like a TV show and whatever, or why don't you go onto this platform or that platform? And I'm like, I'm always in two minds about it. Yeah, I don't know if someone came along from like Channel 4 and was like, we wanted this. I'm not going to lie and say I would strongly think about it, but I also enjoy being on this platform because it's black owned, like the whole crew is black. Do you understand what I'm saying? It started with a young black man and him having a dream and putting his money into it and building it up. So there was always that kind of thing going on. I just really think that when it comes to entertainment, we excel in it, we do so well. Even in sports, there's no black managers hardly in football. It's like to me, I feel like it's modern day slavery. It's like, we're here for your entertainment. You're gonna pay us, like, in the grand scheme of things, shit money, pennies, when the check that you get compared to the check the artists get is two different things.
But I feel like this is a key time to turn back in on ourselves now. Right. I feel like this is the first time we're seeing the world like this, or we're seeing each other, like you said earlier, like, it's kind of emotional and overwhelming the way that, even with how white people are supporting us as well on the ground. Do you understand? People of different races. So that's why I'm like, with the Black Pound Day, I'm inviting everyone to help boost our economy. If you're gonna do this as an emotional support, make that mean economic support. Do you get what I'm saying? And then do this and give money over to our businesses. Because at the end of the day, that's where real power is.
Because you're quite conscious, I would say, like, rapper.
Okay, yeah.
What you like? I would say you're quite like.
Yeah, man.
You're quite.
I do sit on that side.
Even it's not, you know, it's not like, you know, it's not trap, dig, shoot out a girl, like whatever bullshit is out there these days. It's annoying because I will see certain types of music getting shared, but I'm not going to see your music getting shared. Do you think that, again, that's to do with our mentality? Like, we enjoy. Because even me, like, sometimes I put out like positive interviews and I can see the difference in numbers. Like, I'll put an interview out with someone that's a bit controversial and I'll trend. And I'll put an interview out with someone else and it won't trend. Do you think that we need to start programming our mentality?
We need to start changing our ideals and what we deem as good. And that has to come from everyone. Like, what do we hold up as high and of good merit as a culture? I also feel like in our society, the fact that it's made hard for us to maintain our culture, like I was talking to a friend the other day, and they were saying, like, I can't remember the last time I sat with my family and had Sunday dinner. Like, you're Jamaican, how about yourself?
I can't even remember.
Myself, I can't remember. Yeah. So, like, our culture is dwindling, and it's having a very bad effect on how we interact with each other and how we view ourselves. We don't have no direction. Yeah. Since we came over here in the late 40s after World War II, when Britain asked us to come and rebuild the country, we were bus drivers, train drivers. We were coming over as business people from Jamaica, but when we got here, we couldn't get the jobs of that business level that our qualifications deemed us to have. So we were driving buses, trains and whatever. When you're not in a position of power, you cannot maintain yourself in a free way, where you can maintain your culture in a way that is sustainable for your family to be free and do the things that they need to do to be themselves. So even, you know, as an add-on to that, when you look at the products that we're consuming that have Jamaican labels on them or black faces on them,
nothing to do with us.
They've got nothing to do with us. We can run through the names: Dragon Stout, Captain Morgan,
Ray and Nephew.
Supermalt. None of them are owned by black people. So I feel like we have to take a look at ourselves in the mirror and kind of say, what are we doing? Where are we going?
I mean, I think you're right. I think we need to be, like you're saying, unapologetic, because it really pisses me off when I see like people, or when I hear people say stuff like, yeah, but you know, imagine how the white people must feel. And I'm like, are you for real right now? Like, obviously you're not, I'm not saying, and I think also, that's what I was going to say to you, people that are pro-black or they class themselves as pro-black, I don't think you can say you're pro-black and be really conscious about what other people think. Like, we just have to be unapologetic.
There's some sections of pro-blackness that are...
What do you not agree with?
I wouldn't say I don't agree, but, you know...
Are you one of these people these people that think if you're pro-black, you should not marry, it's okay to marry outside your race?
No, I don't. Oh, yeah. No. I think that I believe do what you want to do. Yeah. As a human being, you have the choice to do what you want to do, because we're all humans. Yeah. Nature, God, Allah, whatever you want to call the Most High, has made us compatible to be able to cross genes with each other and have babies. Right. That's nothing to do with me. You know, if the case wasn't a black man shouldn't marry a white woman, then why are they able to copulate? Do you wanna have an opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can, but I just don't think it's good for us as a people.
Okay.
If we're gonna do economically, like if we're gonna say we need to make sure that we as a people keep the pound within ourselves, then how can you say in your house it's not even staying within yourself? I think if black people weren't at the bottom, then we could be freely just like, yeah, whatever, you love who you love. But I think where we are socially, economically, I think we have to be conscious of who we decide we're gonna procreate with.
But what I was saying was, I feel like you can be pro-black to the extent that, you know, we were talking about that whole Bon Babylon kind of mentality, to where you don't want to integrate in the system.
Right,
do you understand? And then you become isolated and a loner.
That's another thing that I think black people do. Yeah. We're very spiritual to the point where we don't think logically.
Exactly.
And everything is about, well, you know, God's gonna get us through, but we're not actually...
real power. It's like a deflection, exactly. Yeah, that's a deep rooted seated deflection that you're kind of using there as an excuse to not integrate and show your power. You understand? Because you feel like you don't have no power. So all you can do now is turn to myths and fantasy. And that's a lot of what we do as black people.
Can you quickly explain why being pro-black is not white supremacy? Because I think people get the two mixed up.
I feel like white supremacy is prejudice plus power. Right. Do you understand? So it's almost like they hold down other races and they have the power to do so. Right. Whereas black people do not have a structure of power to be able to do that to anybody else. Yeah. So it's different in that sense, in the power structure sense. And I feel like pro-blackness is a response to racism. It's a response to white supremacy. Whereas white supremacy was a proactive thing that came out of, you know, rich elite white people trying to take over the natural resources of the world. Cool.
So Black Pound Day, it's on the 27th.
Yeah, the 27th of June.
Does it start from 12 a.m?
Starts from 12 a.m. The website is www.blackpoundday.uk. From 12 a.m. on the Saturday, the 27th of this month, June 2020, is Black Pound Day, and it goes up until 12 a.m., well, 11:59.
Is there a hashtag?
And you can buy, the hashtag is Black Pound Day. Black Pound Day, that's the hashtag.
And then everyone just tag the shit out of it.
Everyone just tag the shit out of it. Take pictures of your receipts, your products, and just make sure that you're socially getting involved, because that's the best way for us to quantify how great the day went.
Okay, wicked. And where can people find you?
You can find me on social media, SwissWorld_, on Instagram, SwissWorld on Twitter. And buy my album, Isolation and Music. And that's it, Black Pound Day. So hold on, are you gonna help me to maintain the Black Pound Day initiative?
Of course I am.
As a black woman.
Yeah, mate, I'm all for the black people. Listen, if you enjoy black penis, you should always, just keep, do you know what I mean? Like, come on.
So hold on, you're single at the moment, right?
I am single.
Okay. Are you not looking for?
It depends if the right guy comes along. Do you know somebody?
Not really. I was just asking that.
How are you single?
I am, yeah.
All right, how old are you?
I'm 38. 37 actually, I'm 37.
37 and single.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
No, but I choose to be single at 37. Like, it's not a thing where, no, but the way how you said 38 and single is like you're digging, man. I'm
No,
like,
no, I'm saying you're 38, you're single, good looking guy.
I try.
The comments, I could just see it now. It's just oh well, what can I do? Okay, guys, so you know what to do. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your mum, tell your dad, especially for this one because it's Black Pound Day on the 27th of June, 2020. And then it's going to be thereafter forever.